Here. Hope y'all are having a great Sunday night. Doing a little more rod building. Gonna put a little coat of epoxy on this awesome chevron wrap we got right here. Got to put another coat or two on it. We're gonna put a little. Then we're gonna mess around with our rod that we're remodeling over here. If y'all been keeping up, y'all know what we're talking about there. Y'all know which rod we're talking about there. Which one's busted? One of these is busted, everybody. Austin, what's up, brother? Welcome, man. Welcome. How you doing tonight, man? Birch, man, what's up, brother? K-Joe, good to see you again, man. Jeff Wheels, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm doing good, y'all. I'm doing pretty good tonight. We're getting low on epoxy, which is never good. We're going to do 2 milliliters on this, so might do 1.5. I can get by with that, maybe. Let's do 1.5 instead of 2. We won't do quite 2 tonight. Son of a biscuit eater. Pushing it out. If I go live tomorrow, would you be able to join? Yeah. What time, brother? Just give me a time, man. What time do you plan on going live? It'll have to be, you made him, man, if it ain't after 6 o'clock, man, I can't guarantee anything. My son's got practice up until about 5:30, so it will be 6 o'clock before I'd even get home and be able to, like, really look on my phone. So if it ain't going to be after 6, I won't be able to join you. So if it'll be in the evening sometime, I can. That's why I always do mine after 10 o'clock, man, because that's really when I get wound down, you know. I mean, I can watch a live earlier than that, but I can't do a live, you know, because usually I'm pretty wide open until about 9 o'clock. I don't know exactly yet, between 6 and 8. Well, you just let me know, man. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Well, I'll tell you what. I can remember. I'll put it on my little thing. I'll remember to look at it. Check it out. I'll look between 6 and 8. That ain't too bad of a window. How long do you stay on live usually when you go live? Dude, like that shirt. Man, this shirt is awesome, dude. I want to get a big-ass rod one. I'd like to get big-ass rod put on one of these. This shirt right here, sweet. It's got the hoodie and stuff, man. I think it's sweet. It's Roost. It's called Roost Company. Waterfowl. I don't know. I mean, I don't just... I'm not just a fisherman. I do a lot of duck hunting here in South Carolina. Duck hunting's not the best here in South Carolina, but I do a lot of duck hunting. We got a couple of decent spots around here, so me and my son are avid duck hunters. We hunt deer a good little bit. You know, we hunt ducks a lot more than we hunt deer. All we do is get us about 2 does a year usually. Hunt that for the meat. Get us 2 nice silkies, 2 nice old healthy does to get us through the year. And then when duck season comes, man, we try to duck hunt pretty seriously. True Carolina, what's up, brother? Welcome. Hope you're doing good tonight, man. Hope you are doing good tonight. Hope you had a good birthday yesterday. I know it's just another day. You know it. But yeah, man, I'd like to get the big S rod on the camo. I can find camo like this. I want to get one done like this for fishing with big S rods on it. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'm sitting here stirring this stuff, y'all. I didn't even put the other part in. I got to talking to y'all already, and I'm sitting here stirring this, and I can automatically tell after about 5 of those stirs, I was like, this is not mixing right. Something's not right here. Something is wrong. Put part A in, but I didn't put part B in. Y'all got to pay more attention than that. If y'all gonna be my co-workers on these rods, y'all gotta do better. Y'all can't be letting me skipping steps like that. Y'all know I'm messing with you. Man, I tell you what I do. It was easy to tell. It was easy to tell that I didn't mix part B with it, actually. Now that I've mixed so much of it, I could tell 20 seconds into it, it wasn't right. Joe says, man, you know, I wasn't going to try to insult you, brother. Joe's like, I wasn't going to try to insult you like that, man, but I ain't no professional. I feel like you skipped a step there. Who's your dude? Oh, man, we got a national champion in the house here. What's up, brother? Welcome, welcome, man. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good, my man. Oh, national champs. Rods, I saw your video on the lure you found with fines. Red Wave. I saw your video. The lure you found. Yeah, man, I didn't catch no fish that day. That was a really kind of a crappy day, but I ended up finding a whole bunch of stuff. That was pretty nice. I would pay him to do this to one of my rifles. Oh, man. Yeah, that'd be nice too right there, man. That'd be nice too. Put that on a rifle or a shotgun or something like that. Put it on it to do that to it. That'd be sweet. It would be sweet. Yeah, I did. That was about a week ago whenever I went out. I think it was last weekend I went out on a Saturday. Maybe it was last weekend, I think. Went out on a Saturday. I didn't even get a bite. Basically just killed time. But the bad part about that was I found there was a real nice whopper plopper way up in the tree. I couldn't get to it. I said, next time I go out there, I'm going to take the pole saw with me. I meant not hole. The pole saw with me. The pole saw, I usually keep it up in the shop. Clearing branches on the deer stands and stuff like that and clearing paths. But, oh yeah. I'm going to take that with me next time in the truck. And if I find something like that, I'm going to take the pole saw out there, cut the branch off and get it. What's up, Chris? Welcome, welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good tonight, brother. What's up, Steve? Steve's in the house. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing good tonight, Steve. Hope you're doing good tonight. We're gonna have to add a little time to this, y'all. Just to be sure. Gonna have to add a little time to that because we started that thing. We lost about a minute off that. And we'll just go another 2 minutes to be sure. That was probably about 4 minutes on there. I put a D on here. I'll show you. I put a D on the bottom of the yellow rod we're doing right there with the splatter paint on it. That's the one I think I'm going to put. It's a medium heavy. That yellow one right there. I think I'm going to try using some braid line on it. I've never really messed with braid a lot. I think I'm going to spool up the reel with braid, and I'll use that for my fishing in the structure and heavy debris and all that stuff and heavy cover, and do some striper fishing with it for the big stripers. You're correct, Wed Wave. I've had one for about 30 years. Thousands of rounds through it. Still shoot as accurate as can be. I must have missed that comment, y'all. I don't have my tablet up tonight for comments to see the comments. I lose them on here real quick on my phone. Videotaping on the phone tonight, y'all. Hey, make sure if y'all are in here, if y'all don't mind, tap in that screen so I can get a nice like on the video. And if you're not a subscriber, I would highly recommend you to think about that. Think about subscribing to the page, y'all. There's a lot of crazy pages on here. We're pretty mild on this one. Tell you, I'll get on here on Facebook. I'll get on these sometime and I'll watch them, and I'm like, man, people get crazy on here. I'll be just praying to try to find a nice fishing video or something like that. So when Bert talked about he's going live, I'm like, hey man, I'd love to catch a live. Something other than something crazy like we always see on here. That was Steve. What Steve and I were talking about. I got you, man. I got you, brother. Appreciate that, Steve. That ought to be pretty good there, y'all. We ought to be do something with that. We ought to be able to do something with that. All right. So we're going to put get this stuff out of my way. Told myself last time I get too much stuff combobulated up in here. I got to get my stuff organized. Can't be all like that. Hope that thing holds on there. And we'll put us a coat on here. Hope y'all had a great Sunday. It's been windy as all get out here in South Carolina. I mean, it's been crazy windy all day. I was going to try to do some fishing, and nah. You can't do no fishing in that kind of weather. And my boat's down right now. I'm rewiring it, putting new carpet in it. I'm putting some new switches in it, doing all the electrical, putting a trolling motor, doing a big overhaul on my boat right now before the fishing season gets in and underway. So I went ahead and started that mission. So all I got is my kayak right now. I got a 1442 John boat with a 25 Nissan on it. That's what I slay all the fish in and stuff like that. But I also got a 12-foot kayak and a Sin 12-foot kayak that I use to get in them tight spots. Fish some of the local ponds that you can't have motors in around here. I just liked. Appreciate that, Austin. Appreciate that, brother. Double tap that screen. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Chris. Do you sell rods? I do, man. I don't advertise them. It's not a real... I do it for people. If they want a rod built, and if I like you... If I like you, you know what I'm saying? If a couple of, things line up with you, I can build a rod, for somebody. I've built quite a few for people, man, to be honest. I've built over 60 rods. And I've only built about 10 for myself. So, all the rest have been for other people. We'll start on this end. I like to start on this end because I'm right-handed and I go left to right when I don't know if that's just me, but I go left to right. So, that way I'm not putting my hand in what I've already done. Let's move pull down on it is what we'll do here for a minute. Kind of get it stretched out there. We're just going to put us a nice coat on it right now. This is a nice chevron decorative wrap we did a while back. This is going to South Dakota to my cuz over there in South Dakota. He won this rod on he's a Facebook subscriber. And I gave this rod away the other day to one of my awesome subscribers. He checks in on the YouTube lives here every now and then. He ain't on here as much though. It should level out pretty good. Windy and cold there. I bet so, man. I need to get my boat put together. 25 ever and 14 full. You got about what I got, just a different motor, man. I need to find some leaf to make some weights, because my 6 to 8 ounce is getting too expensive. That's pretty heavy. What are you fishing for with that? Are you talking about like you talking about lead? Your lead on the weights? Is that what you're talking about, bro? True Carolina? Like your leads on the for weights, right? It's a little bit sparkly. Real thin coat on this. This is about done right here. Supposed to have a decal coming in here in the next day or two for this rod. And then I can finish out this spot right here. That's what that's for, is the decal. There we go. What does a custom rod go for? Man, it does depend on what's going on and everything with it. Custom rods, they run anywhere from $300 to $500. You know what I mean? It depends on what all you get done to it. Depends on what all's going into it. What all, you know. If you want some nice decorative wrap like this, you know, it costs a little more. If you just want some simple marble like that right there, it's not quite as much. It's a little less, a little cheaper, you know. Just depends on what we go for on it. Excuse me for a minute, I gotta plug this in. But they can run, I mean, to get it shipped to you and do everything and have it built, it's gonna cost $300, $350 at least. Appreciate that, man. That's usually about what it runs, yeah. I mean, I don't see this day and age with how much pricing is and on everything, you can get a rod built for less than $350, really. And that's pretty close to shipping and all, you know. I ship all my stuff in Schedule 40 PVC. So, I mean, that costs us a little more, but you got more security. Because I don't want to ship a nice, you know, you don't want to ship a $400 rod in a piece of weak, you know. I ship it in PVC. Some ship it in cardboard. Some ship them in boxes. But, I just can't bear to do that. We're making a transfer here, y'all. Give me just a second. Get that one spinning right there. See if we can get that right. There we go. This is one we've been doing in here for a while, y'all. With the last couple of lives. We put that nice marble job on it, like a splatter marble job right here. Put a nice one up there. Put a splatter marble job on it up there. What we're going to do is under here, I put a D. It's for my name. Put a nice shiny D up under there. Where your finger sits up under there, we're going to epoxy, put in a coat of epoxy. Some of this epoxy I got left, we're going to put it on there. Put that little D on there so I can make sure everybody knows that this fishing rod's mine. Big Dave's fishing rod is what it means. Ha! Because that's my name. My name is David. Give me just a minute so I can see if this thing's turning right. This thing will pop off on us. Y'all done seen it. Y'all done seen it a few times already. See if I can get that to work. There we go. Maybe that'll work. Can y'all still see this one? Okay, y'all can still see what I'm doing right here. And y'all can look at that pretty work right there. I threw that heat gun on there just now, and all that did was it smoothed it all out, got all the divots out of it, got all the little bubbles that were in it, made it smooth out. I mean, if you look at that thing right now, it's smooth as can be, y'all. I don't know if you can see it real well right there, but that's glass. You know what I mean? That thing is sweet. You put that heat on that thing and put it nice heat on it, it just smooths it right on out. I've almost got this to where you can't, it's just smooth. You don't feel none of the thread work. You don't feel none of the chevron decorative wrap. And this coat we just put on it just now is, I think, the 6th coat. So it's taken quite a few coats to actually get this. I think that was the 6th coat. I know we put 4 or 5 on this live, or on these lives alone. So that thing right there is looking nice. Once I can't tell yet, really. Obviously, it's wet. But tomorrow, I'll feel that before I go to work tomorrow. And if it's nice and smooth and I can't feel anything but a smooth, just like it's all one piece, I might have to put one more coat on that. You know what I mean? Excuse me, y'all. Shipping a rod and insurance chunk of money. It is, man. Carbon fiber core. Graphite. It's graphite, brother. These are graphite rods right here. Actually, this one we've remodeled. This is a loose rod that we're just putting a nice marble job on it and kind of customizing it out. Well, not customizing it, but it is customizing it, but we're cleaning it up I cleaned it up real good. It looked kind of ugly, so we put a splatter marble job on it and everything and all that. But this one that I fully built is graphite, my man. We'll go down to the old fishing hole. Man, come on. Where's the fishing hole at, brother? You show me the fishing hole. Wayne, we used them on the coast for drum like nasty currents. That rod is sweet. Appreciate that, Steve. Good evening, sir. That's a good idea, shipping your rods on schedule 40 PVC. Very smart. Man, it's just, and the bad thing is I, from the very beginning, I didn't like it because I had rods shipped and they came in a triangular cardboard box. Broke. First rod I ever got. Okay, we'll redo that. You can choose to get them in PVC. Well, they ship the blanks in thin wall, waste PVC. I mean, not, DWV or something like. It's not even thick. So I got that broke one time. And I knew before I ever even shipped a rod that I was like, well, I'm not shipping it in cardboard and I'm not shipping it in thin PVC. So luckily, I think, I mean, it sucks, but I had 2 rods come in broke. I had to wait to get new ones in. Didn't cost me no more money. The rod company I deal with is very good backing their stuff. And, if it comes in broke, they replace it. But I ended up, out a little while longer than I wanted to be on time. But, that showed me that, the shipping world out there is brutal. And I went and I said, even if I got to pay $26 right now. It might be a little more for a 10-foot, 3-inch, schedule 40 PVC, $26. It weighs much more. It does much more. I mean, it literally costs us to buy the stuff and everything. It's going to cost about $60 or more, depending on where it's going to ship that rod, just for the materials and the shipping. And it's like, whoo, but you know what I mean? That's if it all goes well, if you can get around a $25, $30 shipping charge. Sometimes they want to hit you with a $50 charge. And if that's the case, it's going to cost you $75, $80 to ship the rod. It's gotten so stupid, it's annoying. Because when I first started doing this, I wanted to make rods for on the cheap, you know, on the cheap, budget-wise. Not cheap rods, but budget-wise cheap. And you can't do that anymore. You can't do it no more. You just can't do it. It's impossible. Ever do a wrap like that over the marble? I have. Yes, I have. Now, I almost didn't understand what you were saying. Let me work with this. I wanted to let this get a little bit thicker. But yeah, I have. The first rod we did on here, the very first rod we did on the Facebook, I did a wrap over a marble. I did a nice marble job underneath and then put a chevron wrap over it. Robert Clark won that rod. Robert Clark actually won that rod. Yep. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times. It looks really awesome too, you know, when you do the marble job and then the thread work over the marble, do a nice chevron pattern or something, or even a diamond pattern, or you can do a diamond pattern, you can do a chevron pattern, you can do a, there's quite a few. Well, you know, you've been in this field, you know what's up. But I have done that before, yeah. Actually, quite a few times. That rod I showed last night, I'll show it to you in a minute. I got it sitting right behind me. I'll show it to you real quick, Steve. I got one on hand that I've done marbling with thread work over it. I did a reverse chevron on one. Y'all see I got my D on there. Got the D on there. Representing my name. Representing my name, Doug. No, I'm stupid. My name's David. You know. If y'all didn't know. Now you do. This is a little bit thicker of a sticker, kind of a vinyl sticker. Might take 2 coats or so to get it covered. Y'all, I started looking at this last night and I wasn't going to mess with this side. I wasn't going to mess with the real seat part right here. But this side's so shiny and we done shined all the thread. I'm going to go ahead and do all the guys down there. Put one thin coat on those too. Make it look real. Make it look brand new. It's going to make it look brand new is what it's going to do. This is going to be a pain. There we go. See how that looks. See how that turns out. Yeah, you right, you Carolina. Yeah. Yeah, it ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. Sorry. I'm going to catch up with the comments here for a second. Whoa, I told y'all I was going to be watching that thing. It almost got me. Yeah, shipping on them. It's on the bad lead. Came from the old lead mats. And slowly melting them. That's awesome, man. Probably have over 100 pounds of lead and all. Yeah, man, I used to get they were like little floats. is what they are. They had weights in them, and I can't remember what they were used for. There were sump pumps inside of the basement, the big basement of this big like archaeology kind of museum thing where they kept a bunch of artifacts and stuff over here, and they had sump pumps in the basements for runoff water, rainwater, whatever, and all that got in the basement, and they had these weird weights, whatever, on them. There was like 5 of them. They had these big old huge lead weights on them. Man, I took them things, went and throw the pumps away. I cut them off. I got them sitting out there. I'm gonna welt them down and use them for my decoys, my duck decoy weights. You know what I mean? I got a mold for the J hooks on decoys for ducks, and I'm gonna make a. I'm probably gonna be. I guarantee I'll be able to get about. I could probably get about 4 or 5 dozen J hook out of what I got out there now. You know what I mean? Use them for my duck decoys. Can't find lead for some reason, huh? I find it on the jobs and stuff, man. I almost went as far as they used to do lead toilet flanges on the shitter, y'all. You know what I mean? We pulled like 2 of those out one time. They was over there, and I was like, man, what is that? Right there, you know what I mean? And the old boy was, old boss man was like, those are toilet flanges, old toilet flanges from back in like the 50s and 60s, you know? I said, well, no, what? Oh, I said, damn. I said, what's it made out of? He's like, lead, man, it's straight lead. I said, really? He said, yeah, man, it'd be real good for duck decoys or hooks and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but doesn't all the crap go down that? Ain't that's toilet flange? This is when I first started there. I was like, ain't that the toilet flange? When I first started doing plumbing. I said, ain't that like, doesn't shit go on there? Yeah. But I mean, you just clean, you gonna melt it down and cook it all. I said, I don't know about that, man. That's still, them toilet flanges are still sitting there at the shop, man, over in the corner outside. I was like, nah, I don't want them. I found those ones off the pumps, and I said, all right, I know to look for these pumps. I know at least it's clean water. Have you ever seen the lead mats that were under the old shower pans? No, I haven't seen none of those. You know what I mean? I don't know any plumbers or anything to get lead. Well, yeah, if you're plumbers. If you know anybody with some plumbers, you might be able to. Hey, you say you can't find it up there. Find a plumbing place around there and just go up there and see. They might want to charge you for it, but go up there and see if they got anything, man. Hey, y'all got any kind of lead or anything, man? Tell them what you're trying to do. I like to melt it down and shit. You tell them what you're doing and stuff. They might be like, oh, that's cool, man. Here, you can have this right here. That's how I've done stuff before. Go up there and sweet talk them. Tell them what you're doing. Hey, man, I got a hobby. I'm doing this and that. Shoot, a lot of people shoot it to you, man. They'll be like, hey, man, you can have it. Shit. If you say, I'm going to get it and go scrap it and make money on it, then most people be like, well, yeah, shit, you're going to pay me. But if you tell them the hobby or something, what I'm saying, like what you're doing, I'm just saying, I've done that before, and people, it seems like they're like, oh, really? Well, you can have it then, which I'm being honest, that's what I'm doing with it. So, but if you tell them you're going to scrap it, try to make money, which you can't make no money on lead anyway. Big flat sheets of lead used to under shower pans in case there was a leak. I don't recall seeing those yet. I've been doing plumbing for about 3.5 years now. Most everything is commercial around here. Well, go up there and knock on that commercial ass door and ask them for some lead. The commercial jobs is going to have more lead than the residentials. Well, they're knock on that dang commercial door and say, look here, I need some lead. Give me that shit. Or I'll steal it. You can sell it to me for real cheap, or I can steal it. I'm just kidding, man. Lead, I don't come by lead a lot either. Lead's kind of hard to come by. Most lead, you don't find it just laying around or in scrap piles. People got it set up and put it behind because most people use it for something like that, Most people use it for something like that. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna get me some catfishing rigs in and start making like these little rattler catfish like these right here. I'm gonna get the stuff. I've done looked up the stuff to get them. I'm gonna make some of these rigs, you know, for catfishing. Got a little rattler on it. I'm gonna make some of these. I do quite a bit of catfishing, y'all. So I'm gonna make some of these. I've never used a rattler rig. I've always just used a straight. It'd be like a Santee Carolina rig, you know, whatever they want to call it. Just a straight. Minus all this, you know, with a leader. Not that long of a leader, but then, you know what I mean? My weight up here. 6-inch, 7-inch leader or so. And then that's about right on that hook. That's about right. That might be a 10. I usually use about a 9. But I always use circle hooks. I always use circle hooks. Those work good for sinkers. But they had other metals mixed in them. Oh, really? I got you. What's up, Richard? Welcome, Richard. Welcome, brother. Hope you're doing good tonight. Hope you're doing good tonight. I'm not sure this is like a Santee rig, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what kind of rig this is. You know, it's got the swivel up here and a leader down. Little rattler. Boom. I mean, it's similar. I just don't put all this in the middle. I have used the Santee. I have used the rig. I guess this is just Santee with a rattler. Because I have used similar Santee rigs to elevate my bait off the water in structure. And I think I'm gonna get all I gotta get is, I got plenty of these corks right there, little foams, but I need to get these beads and these little rattlers. Make a little bit of noise down there, you know what I mean, while you're fishing. I have beat on the boat before, you know, beat, boom, boom, beat on the bottom of the boat to attract big fish. When you're targeting larger catfish, any species that's a larger fish, vibrations and noises attract them. You know what I mean? That's why I used to. I just seen my reel seat nut right there start kind of spinning back on me. It was about to start going over my epoxy. I caught that. But any kind of noises, vibrations, stuff like that attracts bigger species fish. Bigger species, you know. You'll scare off the brim and the bass, little fish like that and things. But you're targeting stripers, flatheads, channels, not so much. I don't know about channels so much, but blues, big old blues and stuff. That noise right there attracts them. You know what I mean? When they hear something, they come looking for it. They're the predator. They're the big fish in the water. You know, catfish and those are the biggest stripers. Those are the biggest fish, really, usually in the lakes and freshwater. So most of the time. So when they hear some commotion going on, you know what I mean? Especially the big ones, you know what I mean? They're like, what is that noise? They're going to come over and try to look for it, you know what I mean? I've been on the boat before. There's actually a guy that Hookers and Bobbers told me about. I can't remember the name of the company. Billy's Thump 'em something, but it's a machine that joker's made that sits there and thumps. Boom, boom, thumps, beats on the bottom of your boat to put vibrations out there to attract bigger fish. Once I get my catfish rod built, I'm going to make those using spooks. Yeah, I want to try this out and check it out. You know what I mean? I want to check out this little rig right here and see how it works. You know, see if it helps me out. See if it helps out the game on it. You know, I always try something new. I've never done it before. I've always seen these. I've just never done it. Never tried it. If the noise attracts them, they must be the spring turkeys. A Dr. Slamming make them gobble. Like a shock. That's called a shock. That's those shock gobbles. You know what I mean? Jared, what's up, brother? Welcome, man. Welcome, man. Long time no see, Jared. Why is a mold $200? Man, mold, man, everything's expensive. Everything nowadays is expensive, y'all. It don't matter what you're getting. It don't matter what you're doing. It's going to be expensive. You can't get away from the expensiveness and stuff, y'all. But I do have some big plans, y'all. I'm gonna be posting some videos on here when I start redoing my boat. I'm redoing the carpet in it. Like I said, I'm putting a trolling motor on it, and I'm going to do all the wiring. And for the first time ever on this boat in 14 years since I've had it, I'm going to get me some toggle switches. I've always just had alligator clips, and I had to hook it to the battery and disconnect it from the battery. So I've done bought everything. I've done gotten everything. I just got to do it. I'm still waiting on a few things to come in, like I'm waiting on my bow light to come in and my stern light to come in, and a few things like that or whatever to come in. But once they come in, I'm gonna rewire this whole boat and do everything on switches, so I ain't gotta mess with that stuff no more. You know. Plus my boat, my son's, he turns 15 next month. Actually, he turns 15 in about 2.5 weeks. And whenever he turns, once he gets into his senior year of high school, and he actually, we know he's gonna graduate. We got it locked in. I'm gonna be giving him that boat out there, you know. So I do want to hear about a year or two ahead of time. I want to go ahead and redo some stuff in it. I want to when I do hand it to him, I want it to have, you know, I want him to just be able to get in it and ride and enjoy the boat. You know what I mean? Because I told him, hey, you make it through all the way through high school, make it through school, you know, graduate high school. You know, you'll have when you graduate high school, you'll have a boat, nice little river boat that you can take down the river. You know what I mean? So. And that means in about 2.5 years, I'm getting a new boat. That means I get to get a new boat. So that's the plan with that. You know what I mean? He's a pretty good boy, you know what I mean? He struggles in school because he's just like me, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go to school. Hell, I didn't want to do school, you know what I mean? I wanted to go fishing and hunting. That's what I wanted to do. So, I mean, but he sticks to it. He goes to school. I mean, he don't give me a fuss with school. He just struggles with it because he's just like me. He's got ADHD and all that. He's real hyper. You know, he's got a lot of energy. You know what I mean? Wonder where he got that from. So, I mean, he tries a little bit, so I give him credit for that. You know, I mean, he can try harder just like anybody else, but I told the boy, you graduate high school, you got a boat. It's that simple. You know what I mean? True Floridan. I'm new here, and I subbed, but man, appreciate that, man. You just missed the work. We was putting a little epoxy coat on these custom fishing rods right here. Instead with this one's, I keep saying that, it's custom out, you know what I mean, but put a nice coat on the chevron wrap right here. I'm going to show you all these rods here before we get off here. I'm not staying on here real too long tonight. You know, I just wanted to jump on and visit with y'all a little bit and do an update on this rod and show y'all how this back end come out, which I'm going to show you in a minute, how this coat of epoxy and marble we put on the back there, man. Hey, True Floridan. Make sure I got that right. I'll sub back to you, bro. When we get off here. Give him a boat, then you can borrow it. Give him a boat, then you can borrow. Well, that's the deal. Like, you know, I told him whenever I give him the boat, you know, once he gets the boat, I'm like, that's our duck boat, though. Because, see, I'm going to get a steering wheel. I'm going to get a console boat. I've always had tiller steer. I've always wanted a tiller steer because I've always wanted to be able to turn sharp. Y'all know how it is. If you ride boats, you know that it's unmatched. When you got a tiller handle, and then you got a console with a steering wheel, the maneuverability is unmatched. You know what I mean? I mean, you get 10 times as much turning, and you know what I mean? I can pretty much turn my boat around in a circle like this with a tiller. You know what I mean? And I like that because I did a lot of duck hunting. I went back in a lot of creeks. You know, we'd go up in the swamps, and I'd have to dodge cypress trees and stumps and all kinds of things. So, quick, you know, reaction and stuff. I've always needed that, and I've always just went with a tiller. Now that I've hit the big 4.0, you know what I mean? I'm getting up there in the 40s, and I ain't trying to do that no more. I'll let him do that, and if I need that boat when we go duck hunting, I'll borrow it, just like you said, Steve. Other than that, I'm gonna get like a Sea Arc, or one of them. I don't know about an Express, man. I ain't sure about that. I'd like to get me a Sea Arc, about a 17-foot side console. Get me about a 60 on the back. Yes, sir. Then that's what I want. Then if I need the tiller handle, because if I go much bigger than a 17, get much bigger than a 50 or a 60, the river's gonna be tough to navigate here, and I'm gonna go to the river. You get a 50 or 60, you can still go up there on the lake and still, you know, you can still get around, still big enough to take on that wake for them weekend warriors. That's my problem now with the lake is, if I go fishing at the lake in my 14-foot John boat up here, it's got to be early in the morning, and I got to be out of there by about 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock. I got to be gone. or it's got to be after about 8 o'clock when the sun starts to go down, and then the lake starts calming down, you know what I mean? As far as, I mean, on the weekend, because I work all week long, I can't, you know, I don't get to fish during the week usually very much. In the summertime, I'll go in the evenings, but I won't go fishing, you know, no, I ain't got it like that. But it gets too rough for my little boat, so I got to have something I can still get in the river. It is moving, man. I'm watching it. Thank you, K. Joe. It's trying to get on there. I'm about to tape it. G3, man, that was one of them I was thinking of, brother. That's right, True Floridan. That's right. A G3 is another one that I wouldn't mind having that, the G3. Wouldn't mind getting about a 17-foot side console. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to have about 60 inches wide at the bottom. Get like a 1760 or something. I don't know if they make that exact one. Yeah, that joker's trying to get me. Oh, I touched my... Did you get moving? Can't get it to stop moving. It's okay. I barely nipped it. I'm just going to take that thing off of there. It's always something. There's always something going on like that. I've seen stuff like that happen before, though. If anything can screw you up on a rod build and mess you up, I've done it. $60. Love the content. I appreciate the live, brother. You have a website I can check out. Man, I don't have a website, man. The best way to see all my work and see everything that's going on with is Facebook. I'm on there, you know. I did have a website at one time. A lot of people ask me about it, but doing custom rods, all I really could do on the website was a photo gallery. And it wasn't worth keeping up with the website and loading up photos. And then it got to the point where they was wanting me to pay for it. And I was wanting, you know, I know there are still free ones out there, but I just didn't, it wasn't worth it to me, you know, even to set up the website, because all I can do really is an art gallery. When you do fully custom rods, it's kind of hard to have a website where people can go on and actually shop or do something like that. It's hard to make that, you know. I had a website up for about 5 or 6 months, and then I took it down. And I'm like, everything's on Facebook, you know. If you want to get a hold of me, I got an email, bigsrods@outlook.com. Microsoft, you know, website, Outlook. You just put in Big S Rods with an S on the end, Big S Rods. Just type it straight out and put Outlook on it, you know, Outlook.com. You can email me, man. You can talk if you ever want to ask any questions or talk about a rod. We can do that. Losing power and dryer quitting is what I worry about. Yeah. I won't even, if the weather's real bad like that, or there's a good potential, I won't even do epoxy work. I won't even do epoxy work if that's the case, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm good on that. I'm like, it ain't even worth it, just like you said. I'll give y'all a little overview. Show y'all what we got right here. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up with y'all. I'll give y'all a close-up of our rods and what we got going here. Real quick, though, before we wrap all this up. And everything on there. See here. Get y'all up here. I'll turn y'all around. Let me wipe off the camera, make sure it's clear, show you all the rods. We got this one right here. This is a fully custom rod we did, y'all. It's got the nice reel seat grips. Gonna put a decal right here. All this green right here glows in the dark. All the green you see in that, there's a good shot of the marble job on that. That thing's looking pretty smooth right there. And all that's marble right there. All that marble glows in the dark. All the green you see on it, it glows in the dark. That rod is looking sweet right there, y'all. And then this rod right here, this is a Lew's. 7-foot Lew's. All we did was put a splatter. We just put a nice splatter paint job on that thing. That's what we just got done doing. I put that D on there. So now I got the D underneath it. That's pretty sweet. Just make that rod look that much better, y'all. You know what I mean? Made that rod look that much sweeter. And like I said, we're going to go down here and I'm going to redo all this. My dog's in there hacking up a hairball again. Yeah, this is pretty sweet. Got these up here. Got 3 going up here. Y'all don't pay attention to my blinds there. I done snapped it off. I'm going to snap the blinds off. That's not bad, though. Like I said, that glows in the dark. That green on there glows in the dark as well. That no marble job right there. Glows in the dark as well. Excuse me for a minute, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm going to give y'all a little close-up. I don't know how close y'all seen that, but that chevron, do that chevron wrap right there some justice, you know what I mean? Appreciate that, True Floridian. Appreciate that, man. Y'all, we got all kinds of rods going. I got like 7 or 8 rod builds going right now. And now, y'all, we're going to get ready to wrap this up. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Appreciate y'all chilling out with me for a little while. But I have to buy everything with the old burner method. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just got to do that, man. You just got to buy it. Hey, man, save up a little bit and get it done. That's what I had to do with all this stuff on this boat. I had to just save up the stuff and buy it, man. I was like sitting there procrastinating. Nah, man. Just have to get it. I think I got about $150 in all my electrical and everything and all that. Now all I got left to buy is the carpet, which is going to be cheap. I got a deal on that. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap this up. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I might jump on tomorrow night. I'm not exactly sure. Depends on what I got going on. You know what I mean? But if I do, we'll hang out and do some more. Catch up on some rods and do some more things. If not, man, we'll catch y'all on the next go-round. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Been about an hour on here. That's what I was going to burn, about an hour. I got to put some clothes in the dryer. Then I got to hit the hay, y'all. We got to work Monday morning. Make sure you have a great rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy your day tomorrow. It's Monday, Manic Monday. You know what I'm saying? Try to make it a great day if you can. We'll catch y'all next time, all right? BigSrod's getting ready to sign off.